So today, Saturday, I'm going to try and use the Kubota to sort through palmetto trunks and other stuff that will compost easier. The trunks just, I imagine they'd eventually compost, but they're just so big and I've got so much stuff. I want to get the palmetto trunks sorted, get them moved over into a burn pile, and then get the compost heap piled up a little bit better so I can get that moving along. Then we can start using that in raised beds. Got to use everything here on the homestead. So I'm sitting here trying to make a pile of palmetto trunks. Just kind of raking through this. And of course now he's going to hide behind the bush. Thor came out to visit. Just kind of wandering through the woods over there. See if I can go find him. Hey Thor. What you doing? Just kind of hanging out in the forest. Scouting it all out. Finding any good critters? He's like, nope, I'm focused and I'm gonna ignore you. Hi. Yeah, I needed a break anyway. He's such a cute kitty. Yes, you are. Yeah. Getting a little warm out here for you. See you panting a little bit. You're getting a little chubby now that you've been well fed. Of course, I guess I could say the same for me. Anyway, I think I'm going to get back to running my tractor, trying to clean up piles. Happy trails, Thor. Well, I think it's time to call it quits for the day. Thunder's here. Lightning's coming. My hair is goofed up. You know, it's funny here in Florida, the weather can change pretty good. It was, well, they were saying 80 or 90 degrees, or 90, high 90s earlier, but now it's cooling down pretty quick. The wind's kicked up. There's thunder off in the distance, kind of off in the northeast of here. But I got my burn pile set up, and I'm getting my secondary burn pile set up. And I don't know if you can see my beard, but it was not really a very breezy day most of the day, but it's kicking up now, that's for sure. And there's a little bit of thunder and lightning. So instead of trying to finish off what I'd started, I think I'm going to call it pretty good. It's mid-afternoon right now anyway. I had pretty much cleaned up the piles over there. They're going to just be sitting in composting now. And I've got a pile in the backyard, which I've cleared a lot of the palmetto out of, and it's starting to rain. So I may cut this even shorter. Let me flip around. But that pile over there, I pretty much flattened out. It's I've got to root through it and get the rest of the palmetto trunks out of there. But just over here to the other side, that's the pile I'm starting for compost. But I would say, for the most part, I timed this pretty well. Was able to give you guys an update on what's going on, and it's just now starting to rain. You know, as warm as I am and as dusty as I am, I'm half tempted to just kind of stand here and get soaked for a bit. But yeah, maybe I'll throw in some swim trunks and hit the pool. Anyway, take care. God bless. Not exactly like what we would get in California. Was standing in the garage. Oh my gosh. My drain is a little backed up. Well, at least it's not going from up there. So now it just seems like I got a roto-rooter. That part of it going out to the yard. It's just an empty or an open pipe down at the other end. But yeah, well, that's an improvement. At least it's not raining down from up there. But yeah, we're getting a little bit of rain. They're calling it a severe thunderstorm. I haven't seen any lightning like really close, but certainly hearing a lot of thunder. Anyway, I got that downspout over there. The eave rain gutter is missing the end cap, so it's probably needs one of those. But over there, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, very different from California, and I know California needs this kind of rain. Unfortunately, if it rained like this in California, it would all just go straight out to the ocean. Whereas here in Florida, at least with the sandy soil, it soaks in, and we get to retain quite a bit of it. It'll fill all the retention ponds and things around. We got tons of retention ponds all over the place, but California needs to work on that. Anyway, I'm going to sit and enjoy the rain. Can't remember if I recorded a video about the new shop location, but basically it's going to be kind of where, just behind where Connor's car is. I don't know if you can see those lumps of wood on the ground. Then 35 feet this way, and then 70 feet that way. So through where that tall tree is between us and the chicken coop, chicken run, and all of the firewood that Connor stacked. So that needs to come down. The tree needs to get cut down and the firewood moved. Fire pit moved, chicken coop torn down. And then that's where the shop's going to go. So roughly 10 feet off of the property line over there, about where the pallets are stacked, coming this way is where it would go. 10 feet away from the well, roughly. And then 30 feet away from the house is where that would go. So I think that'll be nice. It'll give us a good view out. I mean, if you see from the corner of Connor's car, that corner nearest us, and out, that would, you'd still be able to see around all that. Drive around it. I won't have to immediately move the stump from the oak tree, but probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But we'll have to get this all graded. So the sweet gum stays, that pine goes. There's a little stand of pines just to the left of that rightmost tree, pine. That cluster goes, and one of the oaks, which I'm kind of bummed about, go. And then one of the leaning oaks in that cluster goes. But that'll be good. So we'll have the shop, we'll have a door on this, well, 2 doors on this side, one on the other side, but where Connor's car is, where one of the doors goes. Then we'll have the raised beds and the shooting range. So it'll all be going on right about here. Awesome. Good times. Good morning, bunny. You're just sitting there, cute as a button, hoping nobody sees you. You look awful young. Very young. Alright, I'll walk the other way. I was going to go try and figure out what... I'll stake out where the shop is going to be. That way I can start to get an idea and visualize what this thing's going to look like. It essentially would be right behind me, which, I mean, is an okay location. But I guess the more I thought about it, looking at 70 feet of frontage is a lot of wall to look at for a shop on a natural environment. Now I don't know if I want it green or if I'd paint it more of a gray to match the house. I don't know. What do you guys think? So earlier today, I had most of the whole family out helping. Cody was running the lawn sweeper, had Connor out in the farm truck. He was picking up limbs that came down in the last storm. Kind of came down hard on him though. The canopy here had gotten one of the poles had gotten a little tweaked from the wind. It was still holding together, but it was hanging down a little bit. The other post, this post over here, I just had to snug it up, and it kind of tipped everything back up a little bit better. But yeah, he was trying to put the farm truck away, and let's see if I can see here. Got a little bit close here, and actually ran the fender into the side of the shed. So he scuffed the fender, and then it got up into this part up here with the canopy roof. Let's see if I can get up and see that. Up in here in this corner. So that got scratched a little bit. I mean, nothing major, but probably came down on him a little hard because he should have been more responsible, paying attention to what he was doing. You know, these aren't toys. Hopefully he learned something. And yeah, we all learn every day. Being a dad isn't always that easy, trying to figure out how to do things. Today, as I'm recording this, is actually Father's Day. So just trying to reflect on, how do we handle situations? What do we do? Do we get upset? Do we try and correct? I knew I had overreacted a little bit, so I told him, just leave it. And it was still stuck up against the shed and whatnot. I'm like, just leave it, turn it off, walk away. I walked away and went and finished up some other things. And then the storm had come in, so we went and all went inside. Of course, he went and hid in his room, as the boys do. But yeah, it's not easy. Doing the right thing, thinking things through, not being reactive. I find it's best when I am being reactive to just kind of stop and take a minute, take a breather, come back, revisit it, think about what was going on. So I'll see if I can find an opportunity to go back and ask him, what was he really thinking? I know he was trying to help out with everything and put things away, but yeah. Anyway, good times. Even Thor knows it's not easy. Of course, I don't know that he's a dad. I think he's fixed. But he's been out here hanging out with me, roaming around, checking up on me, making sure I do stuff right. It's really hard to get camera work on a cat that moves, though. Right, Thor? I don't have a gimbal on this. Maybe that's my next investment, is get a gimbal. What do you think, Thor? Should I get a gimbal? Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway. Hanging out here on Father's Day, trying to get some stuff done. Trying to be a good dad. Not always easy. Well, yesterday we were trying to use the zero turn to to sweep the lawn. And tire was flat, so I filled it up, see how it went, and it was flat again the next day. So I'm going to have to jack it up and take that tire in and get a flat repair on it. I was able to find it. It's super tiny, and it's like right in between the treads. I don't know if you can hear it hiss, but when I put my finger right there, it stops. So yeah, we'll get it over and get it fixed. Well, I was looking for something to do this afternoon, and I thought I'd clear out that pipe. If you remember the downspout there in the bird cage, kind of overflowed and spewed water everywhere during the rainstorm we had the other week. So I thought, well, this kind of needed to be leveled out a little bit. Turns out grass and dirt had just kind of clogged up into the end of it. But the good news is, I've been wondering where those two water pipes go. Well, I found them just by chance. So they start over there at the well, which is kind of there. And they kind of meander over this way, I guess. According to previous owner, well, 2 owners ago, who set a lot of this stuff up. Those pipes kind of go down along the house and then hook. Let's walk there. Hook around the corner towards where the septic tank is. And somewhere just past those trees is where the vaults are for the sprinkler valves. But they do not display above ground. So I'm going to have to figure out how to find those. Maybe I'll find them by chance, kind of like the way I found the water pipes there. We'll see. But anyway, it'd be nice to know where those are at. The good news is, so this is unfiltered water that's coming this way. So it's not gone through the chlorine and removing heavy metals. But the nice thing is, from here, wherever it runs, we're thinking of putting the raised beds kind of somewhere in this general area. So that's good. I just have to run, tee off of this and run a water line down, and I would get irrigation water for the raised beds, which would be right there. So the plan's coming together.